Hello everyone, I'm ViveLeRoy and today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 military things you don't do in EU4 or you don't know. First one is about the military stats and military modifiers that you can find in the military tab. Here you can see military things like tactics, army training, shock peeps, morale peeps, and fire peeps. And some statistics you don't see that are in the country modifier, like artillery level, your manpower increase, and recover army morale speed. So about all those modifiers, I think the best thing for you is to check on the EU4 paradox wiki to learn how they all works. But you can be sure that in the early game, one of the most important is the morale of armies. Well, now we're going to talk about generals. And generals are like one of the most important things in the early game of EU4 because it will decide of how the battle are going to be. You can see I'm going to play England to the 100 Years War. For a lot of people, like, it's a complicated war. It isn't really. For England at the start, you have more morale and a better general because John Talbot is really good, but the generals of France are even better. They have better fire peeps, so they're going to beat you in the fire phase. You can't just let that happen, so you will seek for a better one. So I started the war because the main event wasn't going to trigger, and you can see, like, we are fighting Jean de Dunois for 3, and my leader is 2-4. So you will see that in fire phase he will have 2 more pips, and in shock phase I will have 1 more. You can see that. It's easily winnable, and I'm going to do the same but with like this one. And they are really is 1-3 and 5-2. You can see I have 1 more shock, and no, he has 1 more shock, and I have 4 more fire, and you can see in the casualties that are really bigger. The first thing I want you to know is about the province thing to bait enemies into it. Ankara is like a good province because I have the one that will siege a province, will have -1 dice roll, and so you go here, you scorch the air, and now you just let them come. Now you can see it's pretty funny because the AIs know where your troops are, so if you just like send them all over your nation, they will go, oh yeah, I can siege now. It works more in multiplayer, but scorching like forts on a very important province is really interesting, and you can see that. You don't see my armies, so what you do is you just go into Ankara, and like, when they're going here, you don't see that the Turks are scary hiding here, and that they will just attack you as soon as you come. So you can use the fact that Fog of War is different for the player in multiplayer to bait your enemies into traps. Now the fourth thing is to check the military strength of your opponent. So if I want to attack, I don't know, Hungary, and see that they have issues with their income, you want to check the morale of your opponent and what he has different than you. Sometimes it shows the special event he gets, like from mission, or I don't know, advisor event or military reform. So it's important to know when not to attack your opponent when he has those modifiers. It also applies for discipline. Like, you can see now that Hungary got a pretty bad event And so the last thing is about forts, because I see that people don't really use them very well. So as you can see here, China has a lot of forts. Some of them are really bad, like really shitty, and normally there is like a fort level thing, and you can see like, oh yeah, it's very good, like they can't just go into my land and siege everything. Whoa, China is... oh, looks like they can. So first thing is that it's really shit. Why? Because on all those forts, like, there is only one that is really good and give your attacker -2 dice roll. So just change them. You get rid of this one, put one here, block this part, you put one here, it will be like this part. If you really want to do a rule of China, you can put a lot of forts here. I mean, in multiplayer you just don't need like one range of forts, you need forts everywhere. Your capital is really bad placed, so the first thing you want to do is to build a fort here, and you want to move it somewhere like, oh my god,
You don't want that Muslim.
somewhere like here. So now it's going to be protected by people going from here. Okay, so I just got all my forts. You can see that it's pretty much a lot of forts. The good thing in that is it's actually a really great whole of China, and you can just attack anyone, and if they want to siege you, they will have like the worst thing ever. If you're playing a multiplayer game, you should put forts everywhere that has a bonus for you in terms of battle. And if you're playing single player, you don't really need a lot of forts, you just need to protect your inside land, and AIs will not just siege you everywhere if you block them with forts. It's also really good to counter coalition, because coalition you will usually fight way more troops than you, but if they can't siege you, they will just try to siege one of your forts, and if your forts have a better terrain for you, you will be more easily defeating your coalition, so it's something to take in consideration. Also, another thing is that if you're planning to do war conquest, it's totally different, because you don't really need to plan your own defense, as you are just like expanding everywhere like a retard. So, well, that's all for today. If you want more information, just tell me in the comments. I will try to answer you. Thanks.
Recruiting new members for my fan club. I'd like you to join. You get a great package, signed colored photos, a hot video of mine, refrigerator magnet, and a lot more.